Okay, this is Mr. Phobes. I got a bit of a cold today, so bear with me. I'm going to go through the process of doing our tiling project. So, whether you're doing the one from the scanned expansion image or the one from your cultural artifact, the process is exactly the same. I'm going to go through the process of the scanned expansion. So, here's one here, a student did a couple of years ago. It's good for this project. So, what I want to do is now I'm going to crop this. So I'm going to go to the crop tool and I'm going to go to size and resolution. So you can see I've been using this and it's been saved as a preset, but if I didn't have that, um, I would just go type in 300 by 200. Let me just clear it. You'll see this. So just 300 by 200 and then hit OK. I'm not going to save it because I already have it. Let's see if it does it anyway. There it is. So now this bounding box shows up and it's going to allow me to drag the corner of the square down. Now when I get the selection tool to hover over here, it's going to allow me to rotate the image, not the bounding box. This is something new for CS6. And then when it turns back to a cursor, I can move it. So I'm kind of looking at what would be kind of I don't want too much negative space in my pattern. So maybe I'm going to crop it a little bit closer. I like this, how that's going to look when the little arrow, that's going to be too much negative space. So I don't know, how about right there, right in the center. Okay, so I'll hit enter. Okay, so there it is. We just check the image size, go to image size, and indeed it did crop it to 300 by 300 at 200. So okay. So we're going to save this now. We're going to go File, Save As. We want to save it to the desktop. We're going to call it Motif. And we're going to go Save. Okay. So now we need to make a tile out of this. So we're going to open a new file. So we're going to go File, New. And we're going to make this 600 by 600. And we're going to leave the resolution the same. For this project, we want to leave the resolution at 200, and they'll all work together just fine. So let's call this one tile. So this is the actual tile. We'll hit OK. Then we're ready to place the motifs in there. So we're going to go File, Place. There's my motif. Place. Slide it up to the corner here. Locks in place. Hit enter. It'll place it. And then I'm going to make a copy of this. So I'm just going to click and then drag this layer down to this little icon here. That's the new layer right here. That's the new layer icon. So you can see that it says create a new layer. So it makes a copy of that. Now we don't see it because it's on top. So go to the selection tool, slide this guy over. Looks right. And then we need to flip it horizontally. So we're going to go to Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal. There we go. And they should look like mirror images of one another, and they do. So now we're going to make a copy of that layer, and we're going to slide it down. I didn't grab it. See that? I didn't. There we go. Now, lock it in place. Now make another copy. Actually, okay, now what I need to do is I need to go Edit. Okay. Now what I need to do is I need to flip this. So I'm going to go to Edit, Transform, Flip Vertical. There it is. It looks good. And now I'm going to make a copy of this. Slide it over. And now I need to flip it horizontally. Transform, flip horizontal. And there's my tile. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I want to get this all into one file in one layer, so I'm going to go to Layer, scroll down, and go Flatten Image. There's kind of a range of grays and blacks in here, so I think one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Image, Mode, Grayscale, discard any color information, and then go to Image Adjustments. And let's just go to Brightness and Contrast, and we're going to bump up the contrast. And what that will do is make the blackers black and the whiters white. The white's whiter. Okay, so here we go. All right, that's good enough. So I'm going to save this. So I'm going to go File, Save As. It's tile. It's a JPEG. That's what we want. It's on the desktop. Hit Save. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to make my pattern size. So I'm going to go File, New, and now I want to make this 1800 by 1800 at 200. Let's just call this pattern. And that's good. Okay, so there's the new one. So now we're going to go through, we're going to place the tile in here 9 times. So we go File, Place, there's the tile, Place, it goes right to the center, bring it up to the corner, hit Enter, and then we're going to go through this process 8 times. We're going to copy it, make a copy. There's that. Bring it over again. You'll see it kind of locks in place, so it makes that's kind of easy. And then we're going to make a copy of that. Bring this guy over. Here we go. He locks into place. We're just going to keep doing this. Okay, through the magic of video, I've jumped ahead and copied and pasted this 8 times, so we're good. So again, I need to flatten this, so I'm going to go Layer, Flatten Image. There it is, one file, and I'm going to save it to the desktop. File, Save As. There it is.